Welcome back. Let me get these links out to everyone, and then we can get straight into it. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. That's one. Do-do-do. Beautiful. Okay, so welcome. Let's wait a little bit, get some people in here, and then we can dive straight into it. Um, yeah. So, where did we leave things off in this morning's live training session? Okay, from the London Open. Again, as mentioned, guys, things were compressing. We said the chance of things breaking down to the bottom side, but faking out and then rebounding straight back into structure. That's exactly what we're getting. Hence why those that are with us are seeing kind of widening of the stops. Okay, again, something that we mentioned in this morning's live training session. Naturally, you're going to have to give it the room. It's a low volume market that we're running within at the moment. So naturally, things are going to be searching for liquidity, higher and lower, before making the actual move. Now, we're not getting much data over the course of today. It's very quiet. Okay, so yeah, let's see if we can get anything on the New York Open. Hopefully, we get some nice volume kicking in, and we can actually make a nice push in the market. But yeah, Bitcoin setting up some structure. As you can see, came right back down into that area at the lower bound of the range. So let's see if we can get a nice prop back up in price at the moment. I mean, we come up, we tested that area for liquidity. We can get rid of this structure now, okay? It's done. Broken out, it's come back up. So it's gone back into structure. So what we're looking for really is a continuation in prices pushing up higher. Okay, it's essentially what we're looking for. Now, the dollar index, as you can see, is all over the place. It's left the gap up and above, failed to fill it back up, fill it up before falling down. By the looks of it, it looks like we're going to push deeper into that area that we talked about, potentially playing as support this previous structure here, right? So, yeah, I mean, the dollar index is doing its own thing. More than likely to see a bit more of a definitive move on this New York opening trading. The New York opening session. So yeah, in terms of crypto, patience. It will pay off. Yeah, we just need some volume, some momentum to start picking up, which we kind of did get. Not a great deal, as you can see. Even that move, that breakout to the downside was weak. Okay, in terms of volume, very weak in terms of volume. Well, ideally, I mean, we're gonna mainly be looking on the lower time frames. You can see we're actually getting a little bit of a prop in buy side volume, pushing things right back into that structure. So again, we're just going to wait for a bit of structure continuation. I mean, prices are just going to fluctuate, okay, and maybe push up. Okay, so hopefully we can build up on some sort of positive structure to make that push up higher. If we do, then the altcoins are going to follow suit and they're going to push up nicely. Again, just it's all about being patient. As you can see here, obviously we had that wider structure. Now we're on the 15-minute. Can you see how this is now your range that we're moving within now? Okay, we've bounced off the bottom, right? So we compressed. We broke out. Okay, so it was like this. Sorry, it's a bit messy. So that's the compression. We broke out to the downside, so we get rid of that structure. And now, what are we getting? We're getting that nice trend line off the top. Okay, so now we're looking for that break up and above. Okay, but it's clear. I mean, it's very much moving in this sort of range here. Okay. Bouncing off the bottom, so we should see a nice continuation, hopefully. Let's see. But yeah, those that are just joining us, welcome. Let's see what we can get in this training session. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As always, guys, I mean, those that are new to the stream, feel free to message us in the chat. Any TA that you want us to go over, just pop it in there. More than happy to go over it with you guys. Um, yeah, let's see what we can get. This morning's training session was um, pretty good. I mean, things are moving very, very slow. Crypto wise, in terms of the crypto sort of space and trades this morning, I mean, very quiet. We didn't manage to capitalize on anything. Your traditional markets, on the other hand, we managed to capitalize on some decent trades. So let's see whether we can continue. Okay, should see a little bit of volatility. There were a couple of very nice FX trades that we managed to pull in this morning. Um, so yeah, I mean, we haven't managed to scout anything as of now, as of yet. But we'll have a little look through and see if we can get anything. I mean, structure across the board isn't fantastic. Um, let's have a little look. Hmm, yeah, let's see, let's see, let's see. And welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. By the way, guys. Yeah, we're literally just trying to scout out some potential trades. Um, this doesn't look too bad. We could potentially see something play out here. We're at that 618. Volume tailing off. Looks pretty okay. Mm-hmm. Still need a little bit more development in price. It's not quite ideal, but it's something to keep in the pipeline. Let's just move it. Something to keep in the pipeline, that's for sure. Starting to slow down, volume kind of tailing off, so let's see. Pretty strong rebound on that. More structure needs to be placed. Now this was one that we very quickly capitalized on this move from here all the way down. Very beautiful entry that we got in on this one. As you can see, I mean it rebounded perfectly at where we exited the trade. Literally right off the liquidity area here. That order block came down, tapped for more liquidity, pushed straight back up. Mm. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's not very nice structure to be looking at capitalizing on right now. So it needs a little bit more brewing time, a little bit more space to do its own thing. Um, Australian dollar yen doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's coming off that area. Again, still needs a little bit more time, and I need to see a little bit more bearish price action coming in. But there is a good chance that we hold and we actually pull back. That's your natural trend line that we need to break out from. Um, it's not looking too bad. That can come down as well. Yeah, FX doesn't look too great right now. Those that are just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. By the way, feel free to touch base with us within the chat section. You're right, Ryan. How you doing? Let's get it. Let's get it. Um. So yeah, let's see what we can get. The commodities have been treating us pretty nicely. Now, oil looks like it's slowing down. Still got a little bit of space for things to push up higher. So not the most ideal setup. Gold, on the other hand, doesn't look too bad. Again, building up on structure, it could go either way here, really. Um, that's your short term trend line. Tapping into liquidity just at this order block here. It came down once, twice. High, low. Mm. Yeah. That's your area. Getting a little bit of price compression, so we're either breaking up or we're breaking down. So again, letting it do its own thing. It does look like the the trades are now going to be on the crypto side. I think that's where we're going to capitalize on. Now, those that are just joining us and didn't manage to join in on the fun this morning for the London trading session, we are in a few positions here on crypto. So in on long positions on Bitcoin, Link, and LTC or Litecoin. Um, we have been averaging in. Okay, again, as mentioned in this morning's live trading session, just because of the very low volume environment that we're trading within in crypto, that it's taken a little bit longer for things to develop, break through. So you got to give it that room. You got to give it that extra space. Okay. Which we have done. We've adjusted stop losses where necessary. We've added margin where necessary. We are positioned now just because Bitcoin has come down and tested that kind of the bottom of that range again. So that should be that bottom settling in now. See how we got a nice little spike up in volume compared to this whole area here where it was just abysmal volume. Now we're seeing a little bit of a tick up, which is exactly what you want to see when you're rebounding off here. Now, those that, again, just joining us, you would have missed the sort of TA at the beginning, okay? You've now got a much tighter range, okay? Here you go, bottom. This is your bottom of your range. This is your top on the lower time frame. Okay, so we got a lower time frame range being built in. That's your current structure that we're playing within right now. And we've rebounded off that bottom here nicely. Now we're seeing an attempt to break through. That's your breakout trend line. Okay, if we manage to break through that means okay. Should be making that push towards the top of the tighter range. Now again, this is very much on the lower time frame, but obviously this is just the beginnings of a series of breakouts of price kind of making its way towards the top of the range. Now those that are very fresh to the channel and just joining us for the very first time, the updates that we've gone through and discussed. I'll read your message in a second, my man. Sorry. Yeah, you've got the top and you've got the bottom. That's your wider range, okay? That's what we're going to be moving within for probably the rest of the week and the rest of the month. But again, we got much wider targets. If something unexpected comes out, okay, something unexpected that's bearish or bullish, really makes the market kind of move heavily. Now 25 is the very much wider range on the downside. 30 to 32 is the very much wider range to the upside. Okay, but the way that I'm seeing things, it's very much going to be kept within that range between roughly 29 and the current bottom 26,600. Okay. Okay, hi there. I hope you're well. Thanks for chatting just then. My name's Sean, and my training journey has been a rocky one. I bought a course last year, but I'm really struggling. and keep on making bad trades. Can you help? Would it be possible to hop on a quick call with you to explain in more detail? Warm regards, Sean Dabray. Yes. Honestly, mate, it happens. Um, the industry, okay, it's unfortunately it's got a lot of bad eggs, okay, and it makes it very difficult for people to actually find someone and something that's good and will direct them in the right direction. Um, there's a lot of money grabbing, okay, which is just unfortunate to the industry. Okay, so naturally, yeah, I mean, if you have a very smooth sailing journey and you instantly find someone that is fantastic, hats off. You're very very lucky. A lot of the time, people will it's almost you have to kiss a few frogs, okay. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it happens. It's also part of the journey in general. Okay, you learn some things and you realize, okay, that's not for me. That's not the proper way to learn. Okay, and you then have a base that you can then move on to and kind of find something better, and you know that it's better, if that makes sense, right? Um, so yeah, drop me a message privately just because I can't talk to you about kind of I can't promote anything essentially or talk about any sort of services whilst I'm on a live stream publicly on TraderView. They've got very strict guidelines, so unfortunately I can't talk about any of that. But if you want some help and some guidance, I'm more than happy to help. Just drop me a message privately on TradingView, and then we can go from there. But yeah, I'm seeing some class speakers in the background there. Do you play music? I don't play music, but I love music. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It's just part of me. Um, but yeah, but just the last point. It's honestly part of it. Um, at least the best thing actually is at least you um went and searched for education. Really, that's the best way and the quickest route to actually being a good trader and successful trader. um yeah, it's in all fairness, right? So a lot of people don't spend money on education, and what they do is they try and learn things their own way, by themselves, and go in and waste money on attempting to trade. Okay, and they end up learning the majority of their lessons the hard way and losing a whole load of money, right? Which happens. Um, and instead of using that money that they've lost, learning and paying for something and learning the right way, and mitigating, learning the lessons the hard way, yeah, they end up just spunking money on stupid trading, basically. Good morning. How do you feel about Spy this week? Let's have a little look. Now, those are just joining us, right, for the first time. The bread and butter really is crypto. Love trading commodities as well. They're very easy to transition between, or yeah, they're very kind of similar. So it's easy for people that are good at that predominantly trade crypto to transition to commodities, especially oil in terms of volatility. FX is a little bit different. Okay, so again, it takes a little bit of time to warm up and understand how the dynamics that are involved in FX. But my point that I was going to is stocks and shares are the kind of I don't tend to trade that so much. But again, anything that looks good, I'm more than happy to check out. That's not a problem at all. Where's Spy? Here we go. Now, obviously, the big ones. I mean, I'll keep an eye on, and I'll like, especially. I mean, around like earnings week, um, or earnings season. Sorry. It's always kind of worthwhile kind of checking things out. It gives you opportunities in the market. The thing is, as a trader, you do need to be semi kind of versatile to market conditions. So a lot of the time, when crypto is very quiet, okay, it's worthwhile kind of having knowledge elsewhere that you can move in between, and you can always have some sort of opportunity in the market, no matter what market condition you're in. But again, I mean that's also for um, kind of more experienced traders. Okay, so I mean, it's just that we've got a clear sort of range that we're moving within, right? Let's have a little look. Okay, let me go down to a lot of time. Hey man, how often do you trade in gold, oil, US tech? Um, so gold, oil, we trade it so regularly, probably every day. Again, crypto and commodities are, in terms of traditional markets, commodities is what we trade the most, really. Then we trade FX, then equities, then stocks. Um, so yeah, I mean, you'll see gold and oil trades all the time. Like this morning, we had a gold trade. We were trading gas as well. Last week, capitalized on or yesterday again, we caught that gold short, that breakout through that trend line. And then even last week we were trading commodities. Commodities we trade quite a lot, but um, yeah, let's get back to SPY. So in terms of volume, I mean, saw a nice rebound off this area here. Um, Buyers really failed to come in right here, so that hence why we're getting a little bit of a pullback here now. Let me have a little look. Do, 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 do. So that's your top right there, really. Let me have a little look again. And do you trade these on your live stream? If so, which one of the three sessions do you focus on these in? Yeah, we'll trade anything on the live streams. Um, yeah, just tune in. Okay, where we go live 3 times. Well, we plan on going live 3 times a day. Now, as an average, we'll be live 1 to 2 times. Okay, so you'll definitely see us for a London Open session. So you will be live at 7 a.m. UK time. And then, I mean, today, for instance, we're on live for 3 hours, 4 hours, I think. And then New York Open, so about 12 o'clock, midday, 12:30, we'll be live for a New York opening session. Then we'll be there live for a couple of hours, if so. See whether we can capitalize on anything. If there's nothing to capitalize on, then we'll leave it and come back later. And then the New York closing sessions about 7 o'clock. That will come on, and then we'll trade that. So yeah, 3 times. I mean, if you go back on our live stream history, you will see the different live streams that we do. Um, so got a nice trend line here. Got a bit of a price compression. As you can see, we're kind of sticking to this very nice order block here. Okay, that's your higher area. Got a little bit of a price compression, right? So here, nice positive structuring, um, price action. We're coming back down and testing this area here as support. See here, and we're kind of holding those moving averages as well. Um, see if I can see any discrepancies in price action. Mm. So ideally, I mean, you wanna hold this level, okay? It's just structure that needs to be built up here. Um, we need to hold this area here. Okay, so this is your area for support to hold, and then start to build up some positive structure with volume actually picking up. So something almost like this, right? Or something like this. You see how there's a dip and then a pickup? That's exactly what we want, but we want to hold that level there as support for momentum to pick up from the buy side. So things are looking okay, but we need to hold on to this level of support, this area here. Um, and that's your trend line. I mean, if prices come down and dip beneath this area, okay, so there's some structure just there, okay, that you need to see a good reaction from buyers. If the sellers look strong, we are just going to breach here and actually come down. And these are your levels for kind of support to play out. If things break through that trend line there is imperative that you hold. If you don't hold, if it looks weak coming down to that trend line, we will just break through it and start making our way back down towards that range. Just bear in mind, obviously, the wider structure that you're moving within is you're moving in a sideways action right now. But even on the high time frame, can see how we're kind of at that. We're still above that 200 moving average, which is nice to see. We need to just hold that. If it manages to hold, then we could actually see a push up towards the top. That's probably my area to take profit if it does come up to that area. But if we breach, then I mean, yeah, we'll be making our way back down towards this area here, to the bottom of that range. But we're building on nice positive structure. I think that's kind of the main point to also take, as you can see here. Um, see how we're coming back and we're testing and we're holding. Now, ideally, we wanted to hold here as well and actually make that move, kind of compressing in price. So a big move is on the horizon. But yeah, we need to start. I mean, price needs to start holding this level here if we are going to break to the upside. If we start kind of coming down, yeah, it's going to breach that trend line, and then yeah, it's just going to start tumbling down. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question anyway, mate. Are we flying? Oh, we are flying. Bitcoin is flying. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. I see profit figures. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got some movement in crypto. Thank God. He has blessed us with movement. What's happening with? Okay, yeah. So we're making our way to this previous structure here. You see how tested for that resistance and broke out. That's your next level to look at, which is over here. That's where you can be looking for a potential bounce, and things to start to turn. But again, as mentioned, guys, that's the structure that we're playing within, right? So you're seeing that nice influx of buy side action coming in, which is great. By the way, guys, those that are just joining us, welcome. Feel free to touch base with us in the chat. Any TA that you want us to go over, more than happy to touch on that. Those that again are fresh in the live stream, we are in long on Bitcoin, Chainlink, and Litecoin at the moment. We've not got any positions in the traditional markets open just yet. Yeah, we're kind of focusing a little bit here on the crypto in terms of kind of your commodity side, your oils building on structures, a little bit of structure to push up into. Also below, as you can see, I mean, we're kind of pulling back a little bit, but we've got space to move up until a little bit more stronger resistance. See how we've come to this order block here before making a little bit of a pullback, but kind of your bulls kind of just died off. See this kind of fully died off, so it tapped into liquidity just yet. Now seeing a little bit of a pullback, so there isn't kind of a large move to capitalize on. It could be the case that we just pull back here to this moving average and then start to accumulate and push towards this next moving average here. That's essentially where we want to see a little bit where we're going to see a little bit more price action. So I mean, if we come down to this level here and we start to kind of hold support, then maybe we'll look at potentially taking along towards kind of that higher level of resistance. If not, then yeah, if things break down here, then yeah, we're gonna have to let things build up on structure. But it's kind of in limbo area right now, because this is your stronger area of resistance. and this is your next support. So it's not really an ideal kind of place to take a position on. Now your gold is building structure as well, holding and compressing. It broke through this trend line. This is where we mentioned yesterday that we capitalized literally on that break of this trend line down to this order block here, acting as support and demand. As you can see, we tapped in once, pulled back a little bit further, back to this structure here, and then we saw a nice rebound, very weak buy side following through on the rebound, hence why we got that pullback. And now that's kind of, well, this is the structure that we're moving within. We're going to see a little bit of price compression. We either break up or we break down. Yeah, it's you got to give it a little bit of brewing time to go again. So yeah, it's you got to be patient. Now, on the other hand, crypto is making a little bit of move. Now, you see a little bit of a shift, right? Because this morning, crypto was very quiet. Now, for this New York Open, we're seeing a little bit more volatility coming in. So, crypto is where you want to capitalize on a bit of movement. Now, again, this kind of goes back to being versatile in the markets and being able to trade multiple different kind of asset groups. Now, all three trades are coming into profit now, so well done. We got 72% on Litecoin, 82% on Bitcoin, and about 7% on Link. So let's see where it takes us for this trading session. Yeah, could you go over analysis on US Tech? Yeah, of course I can, mate. Have I got US Tech here? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so kind of rebounding. We're at a nice level. Very kind of, it's a pivotal level, as you can see here. You see how again the rule in trading. Okay, old support turns into new resistance. Old resistance turns into new support. Right. So that's where it used to be resistance, came back down, tested for support. So that's your key pivotal area that our price is currently testing. Okay, so we could have a potential move on our hands here, whether it break down, whether it break higher. Okay, so let's see how things are playing out. Now this is relatively quite bearish. That's your trend line. So this is your structure on the top. Now, seeing this, it's not a strong reaction from the buyers currently. Okay, so it's also kind of, again, need to hold off and wait for kind of next candle or two to play out. Next probably like next 4 hour candles to play out currently. But it's not a very strong reaction from buyers here. See how this is a key point of support? You should be seeing a strong reaction from buyers. Something like this, right? This is a strong reaction from buyers, or this is a strong reaction from buyers. It's what you want to see from this point. And then you get that nice continuation in buy-side action. At this moment, we've come and revisited that level, and we're not getting that same reaction. Now, again, you do need to be a little bit patient with things because the reaction could still come. But it's about, okay, where are my next levels of resistance that I need to keep an eye on for if prices do push up higher, that I consider it, okay, the buyers are looking strong here, right? So this is your level for your kind of your short-term resistance level. Okay, if price pushes up and past, okay, and closes above, that's bullish. Okay, what you will then look for is ideally a push towards here. It pulls back. It then tests this area of previous resistance into new support, and then that's your entry for a push up and past this level here. Okay, and then we actually go towards this kind of liquidity area, which is also your trend line. So again, you got to be patient. You got to wait for a little bit more price action to play out here, before going again. Now that's to the upside. Okay, now to the downside, you want it to fail, um, at breaking this area here. You want it, if it's going to push up higher, you want it to push into here, okay, and then actually start building on bearish price action, and fail into to kind of build up on bullish price action and actually start to turn around. Now this is your bottom that you're looking to break out. Ideally, it needs to breach through here, okay, and then I mean you've got some structure here, right? So that's your support structure. Now, if things really start to ramp down from this point, you can get in on a short position, and what you will do is, one, keep your stop loss tight just above this point here. Once it starts to formulate down, you just move your stop loss to break even, because if it does rebound and push back up, one, you're risk free. Just because it's still a risky area, because it could reject here, pull back, hold support, and basically amplify and push back up. But yeah, ideally this is your area to enter short if you see the right price action on a lower time frame. As it comes down, you move to break even. If it pushes back up and pushes back down here, then you're starting to build up on that sell side momentum, which you kind of need, and you're waiting for currently for a break through that trend line. But yeah, it's building up on structure here, okay, but it's on a verge of seeing a much larger move. But again, it's a battle between the bulls and bears at the moment, and whichever direction really, whichever, if it closes above this point here and pushes past it, then I mean yeah, things are going to push up higher, because it's broken through previous structure. And it's the same on this end. If it pushes past here, now you have got that 200 moving average, which you do need to break and ideally close beneath, for a full breakout of that trend line. Now you can, if you're a bit more conservative, you just wait for that break, come down to this previous structure, and what you're looking for is a rebound, retest of this level, and then get an entry there to then continue back down. That's on a conservative. If you're more conservative, you want a little bit more confirmation to come in place before. Yeah. Hopefully that answered your question, mate. Right, what's happening with crypto? Okay, we're seeing a little bit of volatility. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. What kind of indicators do you use? Any you strongly recommend to someone who's been training for a bit but hasn't got a hold of things yet? Sorry, I got so many questions. I'm trying. Yeah, no, respect that. You gotta start learning from some point. Just keep it nice and simple, mate. If you're doing research by yourself, smart money concepts will help. Now, in terms of indicators, right? Volume, okay. This volume here, your simple basic volume, okay. It's imperative, okay. It tells you so much information, okay. Now, there's quite a lot of misinformation online. It doesn't really describe to you clearly on how to actually read volume. Okay, so it's not something that you're going to pick up very quickly, okay? But yeah, volume, your moving averages. So for instance, what I've got is 50, 100, 200. The way that I've got it set up is my 50 and 100 are exponential moving averages. My 200 is a simple moving average, okay? And then, yeah, Fibonacci's. So your fibs. So you got your retracement. You've got your trend-based extension, okay? It's going to give you nice price targets. Order blocks, concept of order blocks, okay, is a fundamental. Okay, if you don't know order blocks, get to know order blocks. It's going to completely flip your trading game on its head. If you don't know, you don't use order blocks, honestly, get to know. It'll completely change. So basically, concept of liquidity is something that you need to pick up on. And then price action, just understanding price action, your candle structures, pricing patterns, Wyckoff theory is really important. Yeah, things like that. Do you trade full time? Yeah, full time trader, mate. Yeah, yeah, I do this for a living. If you want to join the team, just let me know. But yeah, you'll literally see me through at least 3 times a day. Now, obviously, I mean, the first live training session starts at 7 in the morning. So sometimes I'm not around for the New York closing trading session, which is at 7 p.m. So that's obviously a 12-hour gap between both. But you will see me for a New York close if the price action is setting up or we've got news to come out around that time. But I'm still active, still put out trades, majority of the day. So yeah, you'll see me Monday to Friday. Sometimes I'll put up the updates on a Saturday. You'll see updates on Sundays where I kind of talk on the week ahead. Now, again, just bear in mind, no market updates get sent to TradingView anymore. They are all posted elsewhere. So please do bear that in mind. But yeah, come join in on the live trading sessions. Um, make some money. Okay, you will learn a lot of things as well. So yeah. What does joining the team entail? What sort of info learning tips do we get access to? Again, mate. So unfortunately, if I can't kind of talk on that. If TradingView is listening in to me, I'll get banned for it. So if you want information on that, just drop me a message privately. If you click on my name, on TradingView, they'll come up with a little message icon, and just tap that, send me a message, and then I can answer your question fully on there. Do you take live trades? Yeah, so I literally on these live trading sessions, I'm taking live trades. So, but yeah, if you guys want more information, you have to drop me a message privately. I don't want to get banned. I've been banned a few times for doing that, for having logos on my thumbnails on TradingView. So I've had a fair few warnings. So I can't kind of break the guidelines anymore. Otherwise, there's no more live streams on TradingView for you guys, and we all don't want that, right? But yeah, do you take live trades? I do take live trades. Um, and on these live trading sessions. Now, I don't have my brokers linked to TradingView because the brokers that I use aren't. You're not able to link here. Um, but yeah, you will see us. If I'm looking to enter something, you'll hear me call out. Okay, I'm entering this on the live stream. I'll set it up. So, like for instance, here, as you can see, I've got the trade set up right and stream them. Yeah, so everything's streamed. If I'm live, it'll be streamed. Now, obviously, that you'll only have input on the trades whilst I'm streaming live, unless you're with us. Um, but yeah, if you check out this morning's live trainer session. There's a whole record that gets saved onto my TradingView account. So if you go onto my TradingView profile, there's a section under streams, and all of my live streams are on there, bro. Hello, you have a free channel or paid? Again, guys, I really do apologize, but I literally I can't give you that information. You have to message me privately because the guidelines are just not great. Um, Ba-ba-da-ba.
As the alternatives industry continues to evolve, Pershing wants to know, are you getting the service and support you need to overcome today's obstacles and challenges? Are you confident in the stability of your counterparty? Do you need help expanding your investor network? Do you have the latest allocator insights on investment strategies? Whether you're looking for customized financing, securities lending solutions, or capital management,
Um,
Pershing is an award-winning prime broker committed to providing
uh,
exceptional
what
service
lot size do you
and
normally
meeting
go
your clients'
by?
needs so you can focus on growing
Uh,
your business and producing results for your clients.
so in terms of your traditional markets, again, it depends what exchange you're going off. But the risk management still stays the same. Again, if you want help on that, just message me privately. I'll be able to help you that. Um, I don't hear your response to my question. Again, like I said, you have to message me privately. Unfortunately, I can't give you that information whilst I'm publicly streaming. Um, nice gold disc behind you, bro. Yeah, yeah. So, again, going back to I absolutely adore music. I'm more of a 90s hip hop sort of guy. Um, that disc is Life After Death by Biggie. Um, but yeah. Um, what do you think about CZ? Yeah, so I actually made a comment on this morning. So we went through some of the news that came out. Again, Um, I sent that article into. Where did I send it in? Into to you guys. Um, but yeah, it's not. I mean, crypto. If it was really, really a problem, okay, that would have really moved markets. Essentially, I mean, Binance is the biggest crypto exchange. Okay, so something like that, any negativity that comes out, is going to move the markets. Obviously, we did get some movement. Okay, I'm not saying we didn't get any movement on the back end. We got that movement there. Okay, but it's also when you look into it, it's the Binance US chain that the allegations have been made, or the lawsuit has been put on. And that's a very small percentage of Binance.com, okay? Because essentially, US citizens, some of them, well, a lot of them, use VPNs anyway to access Binance.com, because obviously Binance US was made a separate entity because it held certain restrictions to go with US regulations. Um, so that's it, I mean, it's still against CZ, right, which isn't great. But I mean, CZ has come out and said it's fake news. So I mean, it's you got to give it a little bit of time, more developments, right? It could just be the case. Okay, it's just a fine here, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, Binance CZ is going to be able to sort it. So yeah, we've got to wait. We've got to wait for a little bit more development there. But it's not great news. But realistically, if the markets were really that spooked off the back end, this would have we would have at least been at 25k by now. Okay, markets aren't really majorly bothered by that. Bear in mind, Coinbase, something I think it was like last week or something, has also had something like that. My take on it, right, is as we push on in time and we get closer towards kind of this CBDC sort of environment, you're going to see a lot more regulation, a lot more clamping down on these exchanges, because what the mainstream want to do, or will want to do, is create this scare around the current crypto exchanges, so that the masses, when the masses are going to adopt these CBDCs in crypto, that they stick to your CBDCs and you're relying on your banks, rather than, okay, I'm just going to use something like Tether, and go to normal exchanges. So I think as time kind of goes along and CBDC start become more of a reality, that you're going to see a lot of kind of arts. Binance has done this and done that. Coinbase has done that. Yeah, let's see. I have a. Can you send contact details? Oh no, sorry. Thank you for all this great information. Are there any good books that you recommend? Um, Depends on what you wanna kind of learn on. Um, Best thing for education, really, if you're wanting to do it basically free, is literally kind of tune into live streams and watch things in action. That's the probably one of the best ways. Now, in terms of books, there's some books that you can read now. Again, you're not gonna get this. The sequence that you want to learn in really is get the fundamentals and learn the fundamentals, right? And that's essentially by getting in on a program and learning that way. The best way that you can learn is having a mentor, and you can have that instant um, kind of connection. And you're going through live trading examples, and you can have that instant feedback on whether you're doing something right or you're doing something wrong. That's the best and quickest way that you're going to become good. Um, but it's just get the fundamentals, and then what you can do then is actually okay. And I know one of these fundamentals or something like support and resistance, for instance, briefly, and then what you can do is okay, I'll get a book on support and resistance and really nail it down and understand the dynamics and kind of fine tune it. Something like Wyckoff structure or range trading, you just understand kind of the sequence that things go in, and just learn it correctly. Can you send contact details? Contact details. So if you let me just so I'm just sending a message in now. Okay, so if you click on my name, okay, there will be a message icon. Click on message and just drop me a message, and I'll get back to you with details. I have a serious doubt that CZ makes inside trading too much. So that this is the problem, right? And it is a bit of a problem because when you actually look at the lawsuit and the evidence that they have, is that they've basically someone from the inside or a whistleblower or something has passed this information on, and they've actually got texts, okay, where CZ and what's his name, Samuel Lim, I think it is, having conversations in terms of kind of pushing a narrative to US users to use VPNs to bypass the US regulations. And then there was something else. So it doesn't look good. Okay, the evidence that they're saying that they have is literally text messages from CZ's phone. So yeah, it's and I mean insider trading everywhere. There's insider trading. Your banks do it. Um, it happens everywhere, so it's not a surprise at all. Insider trading is such a standard thing in the industry, anyway. You don't have enough. Okay, let me message you instead, then, bro. It's a bit. See, this is what I'm saying. It's so restrictive here on TradingView that you can't even message me because you've not got enough reputation points. Like, what's that all about? Um, I've dropped you a message, mate. I've sent you a message.
Well, and it's something that a lot of people welcome. Taking a step back, remember when we were talking about a secular increase in inflation, that it was going to be stickier?
By the way, guys, thank you very much for the follows and likes. Very much appreciated. Like I said, it's the best way to support the channel and support us is by liking our content and um, supporting us by following us. Okay. What have we got? We've not. Some prices are falling. Not getting amazing price action. It's again. We're just going to be holding this area. Let me get this one up here better. Um, check on this. Da-da-da-da-da.
Right, and we don't know exactly what the new technology will be. Just another note, you asked me earlier whether the primary market in credit was still closed. It is not. And you actually see about 13 companies coming to market this week. Yeah. You don't want to take all credit. We'll carry that conversation forward.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
Eric Kennan, co-founder and CEO of Clear Harbor Asset Management. We also have Eric Nelson of Wells Fargo and Emily Hill, CEO of Bowerstock Capital Partners. So really talking about this dissonance that we keep seeing between bonds and stocks. This is Bloomberg.
Some bonds last a lifetime. Some bonds inspire confidence. And some you grow to rely on. These are the bonds worth investing in. For over 50 years, PIMCO has reinvented fixed income to create opportunities for investors in every market environment. So no matter what happens, you can build the bonds that mean the most to you. PIMCO, a global leader in active fixed income. Learn more at pimco.com.
Bam.
All investments contain risks.
Okay, so now we're making a little bit of a pullback. Is what it is. Again, it's a very low volume environment that we're currently in. Um, so it's one of them. Um, Trading View do not allow you to expose your fully opinion. Yes, unfortunately that is. Wait a sec. Do you mean opinion on news? I mean, the restrictions come in terms of promoting. That's where I'm saying there's restrictions. Um, so yeah. And thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, mate.
Always nice to see you, French finance minister.
I'm much more concerned about how things flow out of China.
So making a little bit of a pullback. This is, I mean, look at that. We're absolutely slamming it to the downside. Okay, should really be making a pullback here. Let me have a little look. Oh, so we made a nice push up to the upside there. Okay, just need to be careful. Now, it's in a bit of movement. Okay, so we're literally exactly at that 618. Now we're seeing a little bit of support, which is good. Okay, so let's see. Let's see how things kind of hold up here. It's a bit of a dangerous environment for crypto. It's really not making any significant moves.
Is your firm growing as fast as it should? Commonwealth Financial Network can help you accelerate your growth.
But yeah, I mean, essentially, still within our structure, right? This is the structure. This is your range. That's what we're moving within. So, again, just setting up structures. A nice amount of buy side coming in there. Um, so let's see how things kind of develop. Yeah. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, you're welcome, man. You are most welcome.
In the ocean, there's a cool way to repurpose a plastic bottle. Build an awesome terrarium. Cut a large plastic bottle in half and fill the base with sand, pebbles, potting soil, and your favorite plant. I chose an African violet.
Yeah, you gotta be patient. Prices are just building up on structure, ready to go. So this is essentially your accumulation sort of stage, right? And orders are just being accumulating, ready to actually, well, ultimately break through this top. So that's your pivotal point. That's your resistance area. Break through here, pushes all the way to the top here. Again, just building up on structure. It's simple. Thanks for this text. Sent you a DM. Yeah, no problem. I didn't catch your name. My name's Alex. Lovely to meet you, Sean. Lovely to meet everyone. Yeah, like I said, come join us on the live streams. Market updates don't get sent to TradingView anymore. Updates are not on TradingView, so bear that in mind. Do, 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 do.
Wholesale inventories up 0.2% after a 0.3 decline the month before. This is probably related to China and the Golden Week and the sort of disruption of the trade flows during that time period. We also see that the advanced good trades balance is out negative $91.6 billion. That's up from negative 91.1, so a little bit wider trade deficit for the month of February, put a little pressure on growth.
What does that mean right now? The trade deficit is the back end of the equation. Exports take away imports as well, which means there's also a domestic measurement of the economy. How is the separation of two? Where does that stand right now in a 3% GDP?
Well, the simplest way to put it is that if you're buying stuff from overseas, you're not buying stuff that's made in the United States. And we do seem to be buying more from overseas these days. Now, that is hard to tell. It's either because the economy's strong and people want more stuff and the U.S. can't produce it, or because the U.S. is not
Do,
making
do,
stuff.
do, do, do.
A different kind of mixture. But that's something economists try to figure out going forward. Really, this week is a bit more about the banks and the Fed speak. Although, even for Fed speak, it's not
Okay,
going
well,
to be
we can do this. I mean, McKee's been doing this for so long, we can rip up the script. It'll always be. But I was going to go to economic jumble for the week. Let's go to the hearings that we'll see today. From a Fed standpoint, what is Mr. Powell's best outcome of those hearings?
At this point, probably if Vice Chairman Barr can convince them, along with the FDIC and Treasury
Do, do, do,
representatives,
do.
Congress should look at an overhaul of the
Yeah, so I mean, just letting prices kind of do their thing, kind of warm up. I'll have a little look at some other markets. Just give me 2 seconds, then I can have a little look for you guys.
But there's a concern in Congress about whether the Fed and the FDIC overreached, and they really are using the powers that are in the law to do what they felt was the best thing in the short run because they couldn't know what else was going on. So once we lay all this out, it's time to then think about how you manage the U.S. system. And this would be a huge change to insure deposits, all deposits. Obviously creates moral hazard questions, but it is something that only Congress can really decide. So that would be the best and most important outcome here.
Michael McKee with us in a hugely busy.
By the way, I mean, if you guys are still in here, Sean and VP, bear with me. I will get back to you. Obviously, it's passing on. I have to pass on some detail to you guys. So it's gonna take a little bit more concentration. So once I'm done with the live stream, I'll get back to you on all of your messages. So just bear with me, but I will get back to you as soon as it's done.
Session call, Ron, with the 3% real
Yeah.
GDP growth right now. Give me some color about what the next quarter or the rest of 2023 looks like.
Hey, well, Tom, I think it's going to be slow. I mean, our sense still is that the U.S. economy by the third quarter of this year will be in recession. I think it's kind of a
That was a nice break, a nice push, but
train wreck.
I mean, we can get rid of that trend line now because it's been compromised, it's been breached. So now we're very much just moving in the sideways. Now, a rule of thumb, guys, when you're doing your TA, okay, horizontal levels hold more strength than your diagonal levels. Okay, so just a rule of thumb. So your kind of, let's say, your breakouts of your kind of trend lines, your diagonal kind of trend lines, they go to your horizontal levels, if that makes sense. Right. Um. So yeah, they always hold more strength in the market.
levels of consumption that we see. But is there another America out there that's just not priced?
Yeah, I'll get back to both of you just after this stream. So just hold on, just give me a bit of time. Obviously I wanna um give you a full reply. So yeah, once I'm done with the live streams, I'll get back to you both. But yeah, appreciate the messages, guys. Thank you. Let's see. So what was I saying? Yeah, let's have a little look at some traditional markets. I mean, see how gold is pushed up to that area there now. Um, that's still your resistance, so we could still come back down. So just gotta hold off and be patient on that, not take any sort of impulsive sort of moves. Oil's on a little bit of a push up. Let me have a little look at the economic calendar again, see what we got.
When I got Jay Bryson and Michael McKee on the same side,
So we do get a little bit of US data.
so Michael McKee,
It's not crazy,
he's going to frame out what you write about.
and we actually get an ECB speech from President Lagarde in about 40 minutes.
How unusual are the dots, Mike?
So we do get a little bit. Things should start to ramp up ever so slightly. So that's just before the New York Open. So 2 o'clock we get a decent amount of data. So should see a little bit of volatility picking up. Um, let's have a little look. Let's go through the FX pairs again. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's already gone. Would have been a nice one. Just as soon as we check it out. Very quick profit that you could capitalize on there, to be fair. That's your area.
Well, with the dots this time, they said basically we're not changing our view. We're going to have to raise one more time. Do you think they actually get there? I was just talking with
This looks pretty sweet.
third is the next meeting. Long
Literally just set my stop right there. Bam. Play it down.
May 3rd, or
Got 1 TP 2-3.
your sense of the economy leaning towards it not happening?
It's just unfortunate it's gone without us. But that would have been a nice trade. It's unfortunate, guys. Unfortunate. It's gone without us. It's pointless on getting in now. But that was a trade setup there.
Okay, I guess I lost
It's
some audio.
gone.
I'm trying to figure that out right now. I believe we lost audio with Dr. Bryson of Wells Fargo. We'll continue and welcome all of you on radio and television. Mike McKee, I'm going to go to you on a question I was going to ask Dr. Bryson.
This looks okay. Ish. Coming up to a bit of structure. So we've got structure here. Structure here.
Georgia School almost, folks, is a school of thought that reaches out to the Dallas Fed. Okay, fine, but I just wonder if the Georgia School.
Yeah, there isn't much in it at all. Risk reward isn't great either.
It's a question that
Keep on scouting. Keep on scouting.
debate, but the Fed argues it is because it
This
gives
is pushing right down.
guidance and it puts context around their forecast for what's going to happen.
Litecoin.
Have you seen that
Let's go again.
as part of the parlor game?
I think overall it may not have been helpful. I can't say I'm a big fan of the dots because the problem is there are, when there's a full complement of Fed officials, 19 separate dots. But the market tends to take them as one dot. The consensus median as a Fed forecast for what they're going to do, and it's not really that at all. So it does kind of get the Fed in trouble. We talked about this before. You get later into a quarter or into a quarter after they have put out
It's a nice pickup in Southside.
Because they think this. Well, their views have evolved. They just haven't put out a new dot plot yet.
Jay Bryson, thank you.
It's I want a god
Lost him on technical difficulties
entry.
with Mike McKee. You mentioned Friday being important. Let's go back to McKee 101. Boring CPI, CPI at the grocery store, inflation here, maybe producer price indexes, the price of used cars, real estate is the worst it's ever been, and yet there's this fancy thing, the PCE deflator. What is the PCE deflator that's important for Mike McKee?
Well, it's basically the inflation numbers that the government.
This pound yen doesn't look too bad. Still on relatively early stages. We could get that breakout through there. It's a relatively strong level of support. Can you see? But it gives us an opportunity to maybe capitalize on. So we could rebound, we could break. Now, it does look relatively weak. Does look like we're getting a little bit of ramping in volume.
But that's what they're looking at. So with that, when we get it on Friday, that will make something they want to see.
But again, I mean, it's I need
Finished at 4.7%.
some momentum.
Suggest we can get that back to 2-ish? Is the
So could see a rebound, could see a breakthrough.
or does Mike McKee have a new
Doesn't look too bad.
Interesting question to see if they can do it. Their feeling is they have to
Okay.
promise to do it. They have to try to do it.
Okay.
They lose credibility with the markets, but can it be done? That's going to depend on
See how we broke through that trend line here.
to sort of the old normal, where there is a certain amount of inflation, and it could be 3%. It's been said many times 2% was not a magic number. It's just a number that most of the world's central banks have landed on as a decent figure to aim for in a world of zero.
Okay, I think
We're not there.
this looks pretty sweet. I'm gonna
the first economic data of the week, and we'll continue that on
look at.
Friday. What am I watching? 2-year yield back under 4% now.
Do you don't want to see it push somewhere around this region here? Set your stop right there. Literally come all the way down. Alright, let's keep a close eye on this one. Could get that continuation. Now, as you can see, we've rebounded off that 200 very nicely. It looks pretty promising right now. Kind of bouncing off this level here, so there's something to keep on the radar, that's for sure. In terms of here, kind of coming up to that area of liquidity just there. Previous structure.
Strikes are over. The airport is functioning. Universities are due to take off for the Passover holiday.
But do you edge in as a trading strategy? Do you mean average? Do you mean averaging into my positions? Sorry, I've not heard the term edging. So the only thing I can think that edging is averaging in. So dollar cost averaging. But yeah, if you clarify that to me, I can work out what you mean. Okay, now we're finding. See how we come down to this level and kind of rebound a little bit. We'll see. This is looking a little bit weak here at the moment, so there isn't. Nothing's looking too good on the FX. I mean, your equities are all down for the day, see?
U.S. futures also pointing to the downside.
Bloomberg Radio, the Bloomberg Business
Yeah, structure just isn't. Just don't look too bad for a short. Sorry, please tell about gold. Sorry, I'm just reading these messages. Yeah, I can have a little look for gold for you. Um, okay, so we're getting a breakout now. Um, so the structure that we were discussing, I mean, it's broken out, so it's a bit pointless. But we're looking at prices compressing through here and making that break up or low. Now, obviously, things have broken up higher. This is your next area of resistance, just here. Okay, as you can see, you can actually reference this area over as previous levels of support resistance. So that's your next area to look for. Resistance. There is a little bit of order concentration all along here as well. So you got that area to also look at. But this is your first area of resistance to look at price finding and stopping at. Long term for gold, I think gold is going to continue pushing up. This could maybe be the start of something that continues to accumulate and pushes actually past this previous level here. I'm looking at gold potentially pushing all the way up to between 2070 and 2020. This could be a good move. I mean, the buyers are coming in nicely on that candle. So what you're essentially wanting, okay, so as you can see a bit of a W formation. What you want is it to actually come down and to retest this area here. This would be a nice entry for a continuation up. So yeah, I mean it's broken out. It's you got to be patient. You got to let the structure play out, guys. When you take a sell and buy at different points in a pair. Oh, so you mean hedging? Oh, okay. So I mean, it's probably a spelling mistake. So hedging positions. I don't take hedging positions. Um, yeah, I just don't, and that's not the proper way to hedge against. It's not the proper way to hedge against risk. It's not taking a buy position and taking a short position on one asset is the wrong way to actually hedge your risk. The way that you want to hedge your risk is, for instance, let's say I'm expecting a bit of news to come out. Okay, it could be bullish, could be bearish. It's understanding what impacts the asset. So you have a main asset. Okay, so let's say Bitcoin. Okay, and I want to hedge it whether it goes up or down, right? I know that the dollar index moves inversely to Bitcoin, right? So I would use the dollar index as a hedging tool. Okay, that's how you would correctly hedge against or hedge off the risk. Um, so yeah, I will hedge sometimes, but again, it's not an easy thing to do. You do really need to kind of know the dynamics and what is impacting, what the news could be potentially coming out as, what it couldn't come out as, again, it's working it out properly and taking the time. So yeah, a lot of the time I won't hedge that way. Okay, I either go for one direction. If it cuts me out, it cuts me out, and I'm out. Um, but yeah, that's not, hedging, putting the buy position and a short position, and expecting okay if whichever way it takes me in, you can hedge it that way, but you're actually safer just okay either staying out completely, because essentially when you're hedging because you're expecting a bit of a news that's going to make the asset volatile. So that's why you hedge. Otherwise, you will have TA and you'll be thinking, okay, it's going in one direction, so you don't need to hedge. Um, so yeah, you either stay out or you go with one direction, and if it cuts you out, it cuts you out. Unless you are properly working out and hedging off your risk, which again is a complicated kind of method that you'll have to go through. It's what hedge funds do, right? So it's simplest if you see people that just do go long and go short on one asset. Yeah, they have no clue on which direction is things are going to go off. So what they'll do is that, okay, I'll just place a long and a short, whichever way that they think they're doing things smart, but they're really not, because that's not the way that you hedge.
Finance goes, okay, fine, we don't need American customers. Did they just pull away from the hemisphere? Do they just pull away from the United States and even Canada?
But yeah, in terms of gold, yeah, long term, still expecting things to go up. Now again, the update that I sent out now this morning, I was saying I sent out on Friday. I double checked. It was sent out Saturday morning. That update is very important. Again, I do discuss through the scenario that we're currently in. There's a bubble ready to be burst. Okay, and the markets will be crashing if the data that we get out next month and the following month is not showing signs of declining. So if your CPI is showing signs of pushing back up, becoming sticky, and pushing the narrative of the Fed actually increasing rates in May, markets are going to burst, and you are going to see blood all over the streets. Okay, now to my point. Okay, what that will kind of cause is investors are going to be cash heavy, or look for safe havens. Gold is always a safe haven. Your gold and your silver. So that's why on that update I do discuss through. Okay, you want to be heavy on cash, and also buy up some gold and silver to hedge off that risk, right? So that your hits, and again to the point on hedging. Hedging risk. So essentially that's your way of hedging, right? You're expecting, okay, the outlook for the forthcoming. So my expectation is the bubble's going to burst, right? Because I'm expecting that CPI does not come down significantly enough for the Fed to not increase rates come in May. Now the projections for market expectations for a Fed's pause in May's Fed interest rate decision is something like 88%. Okay, so they are not pricing in an increase in interest rates, right? Now the Fed's expectation, okay, is for interest rates to peak at 5.25%. We are currently at 5%, right? So they're not. Sorry, and then to build up off that, okay, to even understand the massive kind of discrepancy between what Fed expectations and the market expectations. In July, the expectation of markets, okay, for the Fed to actually cut back on interest rates is something ridiculous. It's something like, I can't even remember, but they're not even really something like 60 something percent or 70 something percent. So they're not even really pricing in a pause, right? So they're actually expecting a cut this year, whereas the Fed, not even on their base case, the Fed is saying or pricing in a cut on interest rates, right? So that kind of gives you a picture of how separated the Fed and the market is, and again, it's actually setting up for disaster, right? Because things aren't looking good. So that's my expectation, is prices will come down. So how can I hedge off that risk in a future risk off environment? Is okay, where do naturally investors put their money if risk assets are off? You look at your safe havens. Okay, so you look at bonds. Okay, you look at your gold, your silver. Okay, now your silver is a little bit of a better place to put your money, just because, again, silver is very widely used in manufacturing. So yeah. When did you become a trader? Long time ago now. Long time ago. Pushing something like 8-9 years. So well, it's took me a long time. So yeah, it's not easy. I was also kind of at uni Um, so yeah, I was kind of learning finance, um, but doing kind of learning trading on the side. But yeah, it's a long journey. We've come out on the other end on top. Um, so yeah, but it's not easy. Um, yeah, it's a commitment you have to be willing to do for a long time. Now the thing is also, I mean, it's if you want to do it quick time and learn the right way, really, um, again, find someone that you trust. Um, Trust has got a bit of reputation because again, on my point that I said earlier, this industry has got um, too much money grabbing. Okay, and people go into it thinking, okay, yeah, thinking trading essentially is easy. That's the problem, and that's where a lot of new traders kind of fail with that mentality. If you come into this thinking that you can learn how to trade within a year and be successful, you are not going to pull out on top. You have to be a very special type of person to be able to pull it off after a year. Um, and again, it will take you a lot of time. Okay, for that person, they would have to fully commit all of their time to trading every single day, for a whole year, um, to come out on top. And obviously, realistically, for that, for that to be, to the average person. Obviously, you got your day jobs, you got your actual work, and you don't have that full time to commit, and that it takes a lot longer. But if you want to reach that point, essentially, it's going down the mentorship route. Yeah, it's as simple as that. If you're trying to learn things by yourself, I promise you will take a long time. And the problem is that you will get in the habit of learning things not in the right order. You will learn things in the incorrect order, and then what you'll do also is build up bad habits. You'll waste a whole load of money trying to, because the thing is a lot of the time you'll reach a point, and some trading techniques and strategies that you've learned are working for you, and what you'll do is you'll become overconfident. Okay, and what you'll do is you'll go into the market, you'll chuck some money, it'll start working out for you, but because you've not learnt it fully, you will just end up burning cash. And then what you will do is you will go through that whole roller coaster of emotions, and start building bad habits, and it will take you so long to get out of those bad habits. And eventually, I mean, you've burned a whole load of cash that you could have either saved, okay, saved or put to actually learning, and had money on the side to reach a point. Okay, I've got a trading strategy. I know what it takes, and then having money on the side so that when you reach that point, you then have capital to play with. Now, we live in a very kind of great kind of point in time where prop trading firms give you the ability to actually get instant capital. So for those that haven't got savings or anything like that, you're in the benefit of, okay, instead of having that money for capital, okay, you spend that the money that you save for capital on actually learning, and then what you do is you then just go down the prop trading firm, pass it, and then you get instant access to cash. And you actually, the great thing with prop trading firms is that you're instantly in having to be restricted in terms of your trading style, which is again one of the hardest things for new traders to do, is the risk management, which is imperative, is essential to become successful. Uh, and that's where a lot of traders go wrong, because they think, okay, I can just pay for a signal channel, and I can make money off it instantly. That's the expectation. Okay, I'm paying somebody else to send me signals, but you don't even understand the industry. One trading is not 100%. You will get losses. It's about, again, risk management and controlling your losses. That's what it's about. Not that I have problem with people selling courses, but in my position, the people that I've coming across are trying to sell me courses. I've bought quite a lot so far. It's very frustrating. Yeah. So again, it's very very manipulating, and it's almost like kind of the courses that you buy on, let's say your Shopify courses or stuff like, it's the same thing. People, you can actually be good at selling courses on trading, so you can learn a strategy, but to do that and to be a successful trader, okay, not many people can do both, okay. And that's where you get a lot of people that aren't successful traders, but they can teach it, okay. So they'll sell you courses because that's the way that they make money, right? But they're not actually successful traders, and that's where the problem comes in, right? And then they sell you just a lie, and you learn things the wrong way, before you know it's not a solid course, right? But the best thing that you can do, I don't know whether the courses that you've done are just recorded videos and you're just watching that, but the best thing that you can do is mentorship, where you actually have someone talking to you live, and going through that with you. That's where it's worth paying money. Having that instant, kind of having someone correct you that knows what they're doing. And the thing is also, a lot of people don't want to spend the money. So they'll look at, okay, what's the cheapest options, and a lot of the time those cheapest options are the worst options. So yeah, it's one of them. And I'm not saying everything that's priced highly is going to be good. That's definitely not the case. But if something's cheaply priced, it's most likely going to be terrible. Because the one thing that you need to understand, traders that are offering their time, okay, time and kind of their knowledge on trading, they're not gonna just give that away for peanuts, right? Maybe if they're trying to build, kind of get people on board and experience that initially, okay, maybe selling that for lower prices is understandable, but the road to learning a solid strategy and being successful in trading, it's a long road, and it takes a lot of commitment, and you're learning the knowledge is priceless, right? So you're not going to just give that away for cheap. It's just that's it's, especially for mentorship, you're going to require someone's time, a lot of someone's time. That the money, like for instance, my time to teach you, it costs me money. It's time out of my day. So yeah, so recorded videos, yeah, so forget the recorded videos. Mentorship is the way you want to go. That's the way you're going to learn. Because the thing is okay, recorded videos, you're still left to your own devices, right? So what happens if I'm watching a recorded video and loads of my questions start to spark up, right, whilst I'm watching that video, and they're not being answered in that video? I'm literally just left in a space where, okay, now I have about 5 other questions that I didn't understand on that video, and now you have to message the person. That takes however long to respond. It's a long process. That's why the mentorship, you're on a live call with someone and you get the instant feedback. Okay, I don't know this, I have a question about this. Okay, it gets explained to you there and then maybe from answering that question, you have another question off the back end. So you're picking up and you're learning things constantly. You're getting debrief and you're getting answers instantly. Because I might be watching something and I have a question and it moves on to another thing and I've forgotten the question. It's not one. It's not one. Would you consider being a mentor? I've got a mentorship program. So again, I'll give you a message because you've messaged me privately. I'll give you a message. So yeah, but again, don't be deflated about it. I know it's not a great feeling. Obviously, you have the want to actually learn, which is great. Um, and keep that up. Okay, it's unfortunately it's the industry. Okay, it is the industry, and that's why a lot of people kind of get so burnt out by going from one signal channel to another signal channel to go into another signal channel, and it gets worse. That they are just like, nah, like I give up now. I don't want anything to do with this. And they get burnt out. You have to be committed. Just be committed. Again, you will get there eventually, and yeah, you will eventually kind of find something that works for you. With anything that you kind of just start out with on, you have to go through that kind of searching sort of initial stage where, especially with something with trading, which is quite broad. Okay, so again, what sort of trader am I? What sort of market do I like trade? What sort of strategy works for me and my psychology, right? There's so many different dynamics that even you might even come across a good strategy, but because it doesn't fit to the type of person that you are, to the type of psychology that you have, you don't pick up. It doesn't work for you. So yeah, it's a learning curve. You have to go with it, but yeah, like I said, I'll give you a message after the stream. We can go into it. But essentially, I mean, the way that I trade is very simple, very very simple. I don't overcomplicate things, right? It's just smart money concepts, like I've mentioned. Okay, supply and demand zones, support and resistance, order blocks, Fibonacci's, price action, Wyckoff, moving averages. It's very simple. You won't see my kind of charts overly filled with a load of stuff. It's simple, and also, I mean, explaining things and understanding it's quite simple as well. Volume is your biggest friend, okay, and I will take it to my deathbed. Volume is your greatest friend, without doubt. So yeah, how successful are you at trading out of 10? Depends on what you define as being successful. Financially free, I am very much financially free. I'm profitable, and I guess that's all that matters when it comes to trading. As long I'm building an account, okay, pulling in profits, okay, I do it full time. Is that successful for me? I think that is. I guess the end goal for anyone that wants to be a professional trader is to have it as his or hers full-time job. And to reach that point, okay, for it to be a full-time job, you need to be pulling in enough money in terms of profit to take you over to fund your needs. Yeah, so that's essentially the end goal, right? And to be financially free, not kind of, you don't need to worry about anything. So what we got here, we're not too far off New York Open. I get a little bit confused because the times have switched. So the US time, the clock changes at different time than the UK. So the US clock changed at the beginning of this month, whereas the UK clock just changed not too long ago. I think it was like yesterday or something. So I think we're back on to schedule. So I'm pretty sure the New York Open's at 2:30. Um, yeah, I'm 99% sure. Well, we'll find out. We'll hear the opening bell on the news, or well, we should do anyway. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da. Crypto's slightly holding, which is nice to see. We are holding onto structure at the moment. We've come down. See how we tested that 618 and pushing back up. Now, let me just move this. Again, we're just building up structure. See how we're kind of just testing these levels, and we're going to see how this is going to compress a little bit and then either break up or break down. So yeah, we're just testing levels of resistance, levels of support, and finding out which direction things want to go in, essentially. But yeah, those that are joining us, welcome. Feel free to touch base with us in the chat section. Any TA that you want us to go over, we can take a look. That's not a problem. By the looks of it, okay, so we come up. So see how that structure on gold that we're talking about, that area of resistance, and we're going to compress. At the moment, we've pulled back into it. So let's see if we could hold into it and compress. If so, that's going to give us a nice opportunity to capitalize. If we kind of pull back in here, maybe test this trend line here, that'll be a good entry to make a push. I guess you answered the last question. I just had to dash off, so I missed the answer. To your last question, I guess, well, yes, successful, to be a successful trader, I guess it's doing it full time and being able to pay your expenses and more, so financial freedom to it. So I've got that, and so I'm very much happy. But again, it's subjective, right? I guess you answered the last question. Yeah. Should have taken the phone with you to the toilet. Yeah, it's not the most interesting price action, but just do bear in mind. I mean, we're going to get a break. Okay, it's loading up. It's going to happen. Yeah, you've got your tighter range here. See how this is your tighter range. I'm going to move in here. And this is your stronger area of support because it's at the bottom of the much larger range that we're moving within. You've got that 100 moving average there as well. So yeah, it's going to consolidate a little bit, accumulate, and then make a move to the upside, hopefully. But if this gets broken and we close beneath that 100, things are going to plummet. You're going to see a very, very, very red day across the market. Things are going to push. Well, Bitcoin prices will push towards 25k. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's not the most exciting price action. I mean, across the board, there's not much to go off really. So yeah, but the good thing at least is we've got structure that we can play to currently. Now, if things break and we push down here, then again, that's essentially the end goal for shorts. And then it's essentially you got to wait for structure to play out. Whenever there's like a decent move in the market, a decent break, okay, there's a period where structure needs to be built up, okay, for you to then go again. So you get that move here, then you get a rebound, and then you get structure being built, okay? And that's where the Wyckoff schematic comes into place, okay? And the Wyckoff gives you structure that markets play within. Okay, so it's kind of it's useful. Kind of if you don't know about Wyckoff theory, it's very useful if you go and learn it and understand how markets move, because essentially it's accumulation and distribution. Okay, so on the bottom you get an accumulation, Okay, it breaks out to the top. Okay, then at the top you get distribution, and then it breaks to the bottom. And markets move in a cycle like this. Okay, and on the bottoms it's accumulation. On the top, distribution comes down. Okay, um, so yeah, if you don't know about Wyckoff, go touch on it. Very, very, very good theory to know. These entries do not exist on high time frames. What you mean? These entries don't exist on high time frames. Are you on about these crypto entries? Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that.
Paul Sweeney and Matt Miller.
Are there some sectors that you want to have more or less exposure to? These equity indexes just keep going up.
Analysis of the day's
Do-do-do.
Apple here from Bloomberg Intelligence, Bloomberg Opinion, and influential newsmakers.
The bond market was the boss.
The Tape with Paul Sweeney and Matt Miller. Subscribe today on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.
So we see how we got that nice little bounce just there. Let's see. The dollar isn't moving very nicely.
And it is 9:16 on Wall Street. I'm Karen Moscow. This update is brought to you by Interactive Brokers Bond Marketplace. Access their vast selection of over 1 million global fixed income securities with no markups or built-in spreads and low transparent commissions. Learn more at ibkr.com/bonds. Well, U.S. stock index futures are moving lower, and treasuries, well, they are too. Yields moving higher as financial markets continue to stabilize amid the financial sector turbulence. We check the markets all day long here on Bloomberg. S&P futures.
Alright, we're about 13 minutes out now, so we should see some movement. Bitcoin is lagging a little bit. See whether we can hold some structure again. So, yeah, I don't know what you mean by your last message, so if you can clarify it, then I can answer it. If not, then all gods. And again, as mentioned, those that are just joining us, I'll get a market update out for you all. Probably after this stream, in all fairness. Again, as mentioned, market updates do not get sent to TradingView anymore. But yeah, go and check out if you've not watched the market update that'll be sent out on Saturday. Go and check that out. It's an important market update, that's for sure. Gives you a lot of clarity as to what to expect next month and the foreseeable. Yeah, we talk about the likelihood of a market or a bubble burst and a market crash, essentially. Yeah, the outlook that I have is this is just a prolonged bear market rally. We are at a very, very key pivotal area on Bitcoin. Okay, look at how we broke out, right? Come back, retested, support, came back, revisited. This is your pivotal point. Okay, so between 29 and 32 essentially is your key point. Okay, above it you're looking at it being very much bullish, below it is very much bearish, right? So if the bulls manage to break through this point here, push above 32, yeah, I mean that's a strong move. You're probably going to see a strong bullish continuation. Now, if the bulls fail and you see the sell side coming in, because what we've failed to get is strong sell side, Where are my sellers? Right, look at this. Just no sellers whatsoever, right? So if the sellers come in hot, and I'm talking about sell side activity like this over here, like what we got here, heavy sell side. That's you're going to see all of these bulls, these retail bulls that are thinking, okay, that's the bottom, and we're going to moon right now. Get absolutely slapped in the face. They're going to get majorly liquidated. What is that going to do? That's going to trigger more liquidations. This is going to absolutely crash. More than likely push past the previous low all the way down here at 16. Now, there is still some way to do it. I'm not saying that like, anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. But if you're looking at it from a realistic stance, okay, with all the data and everything else, which we do go through on that update on Saturday, that on the previous Saturday just gone, it's not a good picture at all. I mean, the only chance that the Fed is going to pivot, right? And I say pivot in the sense of cut back interest rates, right? The pause is going to come. I don't think it's going to come in the next interest rate decision, but the one following is likely to come in, right? They're expecting interest rates to peak at 5.25. We're at 5%. But the Fed is not planning on cutting for the rest of the year. But there's a chance, right? And something can happen, and the Fed could be pushed to cut interest rates, right? What does that world look like, or what does that scenario look like? Okay, everything that's happened with the banks, okay, and the last bank that's hit the headlines is Deutsche Bank, and it's a big problem because these banks are now getting bigger and bigger now, right? Deutsche Bank is literally Germany's biggest bank, right? So it's starting to slowly escalate, right? It's not detrimental right now, but it could be. But if there's more US banks going down under, or very large banks going down under, that's when there could be a potential pivot, okay? Because at the moment the problem is the crunch on credit, okay, or the restriction on credit. That's where the problem is coming in. So they might have to relieve that, right, by cutting back interest rates. But even then, it's a banking crisis, and that is not good. That's not a good environment. Is the red and yellow candlesticks determine sellers and buyers? Yeah, so your green are your buyers, your sellers are your sellers. Sorry, your red are your sellers. So let me make a little chart, right? So let's say this is a green candle, right? So you got this is your market open, okay? This is where prices open, and as price pushes up, okay, and this is your candle close, right? So as it pushes up, it turns green because price is increasing from the open to the close. Okay, this is your low, this is your high. Okay, so this is the lowest point that price came in at on that candle. This is your highest point that price came out at on that candle, right? So this is your open, this is your close, that's your highest point, that's your lowest point. Now on a red candlestick, okay, this will be, so let me put it next door to each other, right? So this is your close, and then as the market opens, all right, the candle starts to be built, right? It opens where the market closed. Remember, this is a green candle, okay? This is where it closed, the market opens here, okay, but price moves down, okay? So the candle turns red, okay? That's your open, this is your close, that's your highest point on that candle, this is your lowest point on that candle. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so 6 minutes out. Let's get some volume coming in. Yeah, let's see what we can capitalize here, guys. Oh, okay, at the bottom. So these are volume bars, right? So yeah, I'm colorblind, so I think from hearing people kind of correct me. So this looks green to me, but I've been told that it looks yellow. That is yellow, sorry. So yeah, the yellow ones are buy side volume. The red ones are sell side volume. Um, yeah, but this is one of the most important tools that you will use. Okay, volume will tell you a lot of information. Okay, very useful information, especially if you're an investor. Okay, so if you look at long term, um, don't know, I'll have a look at Google now. As a long term investor, and you're building, so let's say you're picking altcoins for the long term, right? Volume is going to give you a lot of information, even stocks, right? Can tell you a lot of information. It will tell you where are the institutions, where's my smart money coming in, and volume is enables you to see that, right? Doo-doo-doo. Right, so we got Google. Sure, let's see if it's gonna go well for you. Let's see. Doesn't look too bad, to be fair. You might be onto something. I like it. 382 test, nice test. Sellers starting to come in. Don't know your entry. That's probably where it will go. You can either play it. I mean, I'll probably start taking some profit just here. That's where your liquidity is held at. Um, but it could come down as far as just above 100, so 100.5. Weak buy side. That was weak. Hence why we got that nice pullback there. Yeah, very weak buy side. Much stronger sell side. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad, to be fair. What indicator is that? Do you mean this one here? This is your Fibonacci retracement, and you also have your trend-based Fibonacci extension. Okay, you do use them differently. Yeah, it's a key indicator, or trading tool. You can call it a trading tool as well. But yeah, Ericsson does look pretty sweet, mate. Essentially, keep a close eye for our breakthrough here. If prices manage to close, so if the candle manages to close beneath this point here, be good indication that we'll be moving towards further down. There's a bit more of a concentration in orders right there. Just here. That's your concentration of liquidity. That's where prices are going to find it more difficult to actually break through. There's a lot of concentration just here. See, this is your wider, okay, but that's your concentration. So look for this level to be breached and closed beneath. Now you could see something like this play out, right? Comes down here, rebounds, comes and tests this area here. See that structure there as resistance, and then make the break, and then maybe come up and then continue down. So just be aware of that. Okay, if it rebounds off here, it doesn't mean that it's completely rejecting. It's going to play right back up. You could see a test of this area and push back up to this previous structure here, and then come down. So just bear that in mind when you're looking at things. Okay, so we're about a minute out now from that New York Open. Let's see what we can get. Yeah, the indicator that I think you're talking about is the Fibonacci. Oh, the yellow and red one. This is volume. You can see here volume. See, it's your basic volume indicator. Okay, here we go. What's happening here? A little bit of a rebound. This could be a little bit dangerous. We're at this level again. Hopefully we can hold and start making a push up higher. Yeah, let's see. Okay, there you go. That's the opening bell. Let's get it.
Good morning. I'm Karen Moscow along with Paul Sweeney and Matt Miller. The S&P 500 is lower at the open, down about 0.1%, down 3 points at 39.73. The Dow Jones Industrial Average little changed up 12.
Not too much movement. No, I mean, you don't get instant movement, so you got to give the markets a little bit of breathing space, a little bit of brewing time. 15 minutes to 30 minutes. Let the markets digest and kind of make a move. But the thing is, essentially, the DXY is going to have to come up and fill up that gap. So, yeah, it's going to put a little bit of restrictiveness on Bitcoin. So it could be the case that we just continue consolidating until this fills that up, makes a push, fills, and then comes back down. I would have liked for that gap to have been filled up by now. Volume profile indicator, yes, I'm pretty sure that's it. Let's get it. Yes, Ryan, let's get it. Let me find out which one it is. It's just literally vol. This one here, literally the top one. Any gold, oil trades? I mean, we're looking. We're gonna let things structure up, my man. Like I said, this is your structure. We've not got a clear entry right now. Your oil is also. I mean, oil could actually break down here. You could actually get a short position if you really wanted. Maybe push towards this structure just here, somewhere around this region. Wouldn't be a bad. That's some decent sell side right there. But even then, the structure isn't amazing. There's space for things to push up higher. There's space for things to push down lower. So again, it's not the best of structure to really get in, to be honest with you. By the way, thank you for the likes on the streams and thank you for the follows. As mentioned, I really do appreciate it. It's the best way that you can support this channel. And keep the content essentially free as possible for you all as well. So yeah, very much appreciate, guys. Always a pleasure. Yeah, this just looks like we're just going to continue. Just kind of consolidating. I'm not seeing insane movement. Now we could actually come down a bit lower. And test the 100 moving average just here. In that case, I mean, I'll have to widen my stop ever so slightly, but I mean, we'll keep a close eye on things, guys. Yeah, structure isn't amazing. I've taken a portion of the mentorship, and I can. Yes, thank you. When are we getting back to the lessons then? But yeah, as you can see, I mean, Ryan has hopped on, or Nova has hopped on, so he can give you a bit of light into it. Finding a little bit of support, so not looking too bad. We just want to see a nice ramping up again. the dollar's causing a little bit of implications. Now, it could be the case that we don't even fill in that gap over the course of today. Could be the case that, okay, we hold here and we actually make a move down lower. And then maybe over the course of tomorrow night, we could be pushed back up and test. This is your strong area of support back at that trend line. So it could very much kind of come back down. Busy working likely in the next month. That's okay. Take your time. Yeah, I hope the new job is treating you well, mate. But yeah, I mean, you got the main fundamental part out the way, which is the essential part, really. So that's always good.
Yeah, the name of the company V2X Incorporated. The ticker is VVX. And $1.2 billion company based out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Those are some interesting small caps to take if you
Got gold making a little bit more of a push up. See that you could potentially even get a double top forming here. See, could get a double top. If that's the case, then we will come down and we'll test this and we'll just continue compressing for then a breakout. Again, as mentioned earlier, I mean, long-term projection for gold is looking like it's going to end up much higher. So I mean, we'll see. Yeah, rule of thumb also, guys, April and May, months of the year, are very red days for markets, okay? So it's a rule of thumb. Do remember financial year, the financial kind of flip over is next month. So you do also have that to consider. So, yeah. Or that kind of... This kind of part of the year, it's a volatile part. So you have like your New Year, new kind of Christmas time, New Year, you get volatility around that area. April, May time, more volatility as well, just because of how the financial year is structured. And then summer sometimes can be a little bit of movement, but essentially those are your two biggest times of the year. So the New Year flip over and then the financial year flip over as well. Nasdaq dropping like a hot pancake. The Nasdaq was looking at, I mean, it's been on a bit of a strong run, hasn't it? Where's my Nasdaq? Woo! I like it. I like it. I like it. Jesus. Blood on the streets. Ooh. The Nasdaq needed to cool off, though, to be fair, because it's just been on an absolute rampage. So it's actually relatively healthy to see it pull back. It's honestly just been on a crazy move. What's the S&P doing? S&P is slightly down as well. Yeah, not crazy. That Nasdaq movement though does look like we're gonna break down lower. We'll see. I'll tell you what, the Russell is looking very weak, and the Russell kind of runs quite closely to Bitcoin as well as the Nasdaq, in all fairness, but the Russell has a bit more of a correlation compared to the Nasdaq. Any trades I recommend for the Nas? Let's have a little look. It's going to be relatively very short term on the Nasdaq, in all fairness. I mean, the breakout has kind of pulled through. You can go in short. I'll be playing it. So you got this structure here, and then you got that lower structure there. Stop loss literally just above. It's not going to give you the best of risk reward ratio, in all fairness, because it's already made its move. But that's your next target. This is the following one just down here. You got some liquidity. But the move has happened, so there's no need to rush in. But if you were looking for a position, that's the setup. Presume you want to have a little look continuation, but yeah, I mean it's seen a nice breakout, broken through that 200, which is a good factor. Um, yeah, you could see a push all the way down to about 12,495. Seeing some nice outside. There must be some sort of news that's coming out that's impacting it. Yeah, Bitcoin's holding nicely, which is good to see. It is good to see.
All right, good stuff. Thank you very much. We appreciate getting your perspective, David. Getting a Midwest call as well. David, hang on, David. Do you then are you a Buckeyes fan or do you root for the school up north?
My heart went a little south when Michigan State lost in the tournament, so I'm rooting for more Michigan teams.
Sparty. Yeah, exactly. Tom Izzo, I think pound for pound, the greatest coach out there these days. David Sowerby, Ancora Managing Director and Portfolio Manager, joining us with our news in New York. Here's Michael Barr.
Paul Mack, thank you. The Covenant Elementary School in Nashville remains a crime scene today, a day after a 28-year-old former student fatally shot three 9-year-olds, two school employees, and a volunteer.
There goes the Nasdaq. Let's get it. I need something from crypto. Come on, Bitcoin. Give me some moves.
Police Chief John Drake tells ABC's Good Morning America today that it is still early in the investigation.
We have not been able to determine a motive as of yet. The investigation is very much still ongoing. We do have writings in the book we consider to be like a manifesto. We do have a map of the school.
A makeshift memorial of flowers and stuffed animals now adorns the school campus entrance. Israel's Prime Minister has agreed to
Tesla on a down day today. Mark my words. Let's have a little look. How did that Google play out?
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has agreed to delay the judicial overhaul that has sparked
Woo! Look at that. Absolutely slammed it. Whoa. What a beautiful move. Ericsson, you're the man. Call that. Very nice move. See that? Straight down through that area to that 100. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. Tech companies are being hit. That's why your Nasdaq's falling heavily. Tesla. Have I got Tesla here? Not yet. Might be in the other one. Down as well. Looking weak. We're at support. I mean, it could very much break down heavy. Could come all the way down here. This is kind of your next level. You got quite a lot of structure off that point. See, the only thing, right, with the structure for stocks, it's not quite clear cut, right? But I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Tesla could actually majorly fall here. It's breaching through that trend line. Could see a big red day for Tesla. If we breach through here, I mean, Jesus Christ, we've got a lot of movements come down. Tech companies on heat map have been putting up January numbers. Yeah, I mean, the tech companies have been absolutely smashing it. The Nasdaq has been, like I mentioned earlier, just on an absolute rampage. Yeah, it's kind of like Bitcoin, really. The risk the markets have been taking risk on assets as okay, it's on since the start of the year. I mean, you see it on Bitcoin, for instance. It's been on an absolute tear. Like, I didn't even expect it to make that push. To be honest, I was still looking at things kind of coming down at this point, but they've just absolutely flew. And obviously, tech companies are risky. So yeah, anything risk on. It's just been flying. Now is it stabilizing around the 12,577? Somebody will look. But yeah, that Tesla, I mean, if you breach through that trend line, you can wish that farewell. What was I looking at? Nasdaq, right? I've got the different chart on here. This is it. Yeah, see, this is why I haven't entered, because it's just not an ideal entry. You wanted to get in on the breakout, really, or on this kind of structure here. Now, I mean, have a little look. Could come up to that 382 and continue back down. That buy side's weak. So, I mean, we're on the 15-minute, right? If the buy side is extremely weak for this candle, then, yeah, I mean, and if it's at kind of a Fibonacci level, we're seeing a little bit of price action, then it's a good indication that things will continue to come back down. This is your liquidity just here. That's where you've got your demand coming in much more heavily. Now you do have a little bit here. Obviously, you need to breach through that structure, really. Show BTC target and entry price, please. So we're already in a long position on BTC, Chainlink, and Litecoin. So I mean, yeah, just do save a little bit of margin, okay? Just because we could come and test this bottom here again, and then accumulate and make a push up higher. But we are in already long on Bitcoin. Stop loss. Now, because we are on top of the trade and we're managing it, okay, if things start to look really bearish, we will move the stop loss about 26.2, just giving it that little bit more room, rather than where we've got it right now. But yeah, entry and you take profit. I mean, you take profit depends on the time horizon that you're looking at. Depends on the time horizon that you're wanting to trade it within. Short term, 27.4. But medium term, I mean, you've got the wider range here, so you can hold it and just go with the flow and see where, if it starts to stall up, you just get out and then just kind of look for other trades. But yeah, we're in long here, long on Link at the moment. I mean, we're going to chase the larger targets, but this is your first hurdle. And then you got Litecoin as well. So, Roku. I was having a look at Roku the other day, actually. I think it was Roku. Let me have a look.
U.S. companies going to lower tax jurisdictions to get out of paying their fair share here. Samantha Handler about this.
Is it?
She's got.
No, I haven't got it on yet.
Her eye on this story, and Samantha, what do we know about how far along
Let's have a little look.
negotiations are for?
Thanks a lot. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I thought I'd look at Roku. Mustn't have been. I mean, it's compressing in price, right? Just look at that. It's ramping up. It's big move is definitely on the rise, and by the looks of it, I mean, so for those that don't use volume, okay, this is why it's a good. See how you got these huge anomalies in buy side volume, Okay, that's smart money coming in. That's an institutional buy-side activity. It's exactly what you want to see in terms of understanding, okay, our institutions positioning in. um, so it's a good indication that you got institutional activity in on this asset, for instance. Okay, so yeah, this is looking good. Very, very nice. Probably, I mean, by the looks of it, again, I mean, if you trade stocks, you do need to be in tune with earnings, the balance sheets, stops your profit and losses on the company, and keeping up to date with the news on that specific company, on any kind of new announcements, any investment, anything like that. It's imperative to actually kind of really get something right. But from a technical standpoint, it's looking fantastic. You've got liquidity up here. You've got liquidity up here. Roku. EV company, no? Might be wrong. Oh no, it's a TV thingy. No? Streaming device, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it looks. This is really the next area. You've got a little bit of resistance there. This, see how, look at the massive concentration of orders here. See how price kind of range and stayed very compact area. That's where the strength is. This was a nice. See how you got a nice cup push, came down, and now we're compressing. Bam. That's, I mean, the TA is pushing towards a push up higher, but it could very much break down lower as well. So, yeah, the TA looks good for an increase. That's for sure. And again, see how like the natural, there's a natural curvature now, and see how the natural trend goes from lower highs, yeah, bam, 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 to higher lows. Very good indication. And see how kind of the buy, see where you got that massive increase in buy side, and then after that, shortly after that, things start to level up. Yeah, this is looking good. Looking good for a push up higher.
Who he or she is going to vote for. There are some tax issues that I think your average middle class.
Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes as well, guys. Very much appreciated.
Samantha, I don't know how into this right now you are. Is there any possibility that SALT tax deduction that Trump did away with in 2017, is that going to come back?
Yeah, Roku. It's on. I swear it's on. Like Samsung TVs or something, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we got a little bit of movement, guys. A little bit of movement. It's what we want to see. Come on, just give me that nice pump. Pump to the absolute moon. It'd be amazing. You see how, like, Bitcoin's moving up, right? And, I mean, the dollar index is doing the same. If Bitcoin continues to move up and this kind of fills up that gap, when it pulls back, you will see Bitcoin and crypto really push. So for NAS 100, is it a good time to buy on the market, seeing as it's stabilizing? Stay away from it. Yeah, stay away from it. It's a decent move. Your tech stocks as a whole, as you can see, are all bleeding. Thing with trading is, mate, you don't want to catch the very tops and the very bottoms on moves, right? It's risky as hell, right? You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to enter on confirmation, right? So let it make its move, okay, and it hits the bottom and then it rebounds, right? So let me go on the lower time frame, for instance. What you're looking for is for a good entry, for a perfect entry, okay. It's not about catching this bottom here, okay. Fantastic if you do, but professional traders do not do that. What they do is they let it come down, it hits the bottom. They then enter on confirmation when it pulls back and it confirms, okay, that's the bottom and we're making a move. That's your entry. You're not interested in catching bottoms or catching tops. Neither are you interested in taking profits at the very tops or at the very bottoms. If that's the way that you think, okay, just continue on your trading journey. You'll quickly realize that you will switch from that. So don't bother, because this is a strong move, right? Okay, it could just be a very short pullback, and we could continue tumbling down. And this is where you're actually safer doing this sort of technique on traditional markets. But you do this on crypto, and 90% of the time you will be burnt off completely, because it's extremely volatile, that you get extreme large moves. So that, let's say, if you're comfortable with trading traditional markets and you transition over to crypto, it's a different ball game. And a lot of the time, as you do that early transition, you'll get burned, because it takes a bit of adjusting for the volatility that Bitcoin has, or crypto in general has, right? So like you could be looking at somewhere that's the decent support or resistance area that you think, okay, I'm going to get a strong rebound off here. But because how volatile crypto naturally is, okay, it will just burn straight through that point. Okay, so that's where you have to wait for confirmation, and that's where you get the best entries anyway. That's where you have the probability more on your side. You have the better risk to reward ratios. Yeah, just so in terms of obviously getting in on Nasdaq, just hold off, man, because this could very much come down to this area here. It's a decent look at the sell side that's coming in, heavy sell side. It could very much break through. So yeah, nah, I wouldn't be interested. You wanna wait for structure, okay? Now that so this is your structure here. You broke out of that structure. Now what you want to do is you want to wait for more structure to build up for a potential entry. To put probabilities on your side. The probability is not on your side at that point for things to push back up. It is also, I mean, as you can see, you kind of got this kind of range here. So, I mean, we'll see. Crypto's struggling so much. Struggle. Okay. Right, guys. I mean, we've given it half an hour. We're not really getting much. Okay, so got to just continue letting it brew. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what the European close brings. Okay, so 4:30. We'll see what that brings. Bring a bit more volatility. For now, I mean, it's been half an hour since the open. I'm not getting a great deal. So what we'll do is we'll leave it there, and we'll come back later on this evening. We'll see how things kind of match up in terms of price action. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll also get a market update recorded, sent out. Again, those that haven't heard me mentioning, and I do apologize for keeping on repeating myself, but market updates do not get posted to TradingView anymore. Okay, but yeah, guys, those that have stuck with us throughout the trading session today and joined us, thank you very much. Always an absolute pleasure. Yeah, we're going to leave it there. We'll come back a bit later on. We'll see. We'll let prices kind of build up on structure. Again, as mentioned, it's going to be a low volume start to the week, or the first half of the week. Things are going to slowly build up. So again, just wait for structure. We're in on trades. We'll just continue monitoring them and updating you guys where necessary. And then yeah, we'll see whether we can get any setups. I'll keep an eye on things. I'll look for some setups between now and the next session. And if I see anything, I'll get it sent out to you guys. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. And yeah, absolute pleasure. Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you for following. Very much appreciated. I'll see you a bit later on for another live training session. If I don't see you, enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow morning for another live training session. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.